Junk, 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 junk. $200 four-wheeler. Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how I built this four-wheeler for about $200. And then I'm going to jump it through fire. So I picked this four-wheeler up for under $200 off of Facebook Marketplace. It was even in my town. The head was a little oily, so I went ahead and just pulled that off right from the get-go. Went ahead and cleaned up the gasket surface with some Scotch-Brite. And I noticed the timing chain was a little loose when I had the valve cover off. But the set screw was frozen, so I had to pull the adjuster, or the timing chain adjustment. And once that was freed, I was able to just loosen the set screw. And now the timing chain was tightened. That guy there. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the valve cover on and replace the bolts in the order that we pulled them off, in the exact position. That's what the cardboard box helps with. All four of these center head bolts had washers on them, except this one was missing one. So I'll add a crush washer from my crush washer kit to that one, and it's possible that was part of the leak. Do the valve adjustment, we gotta put it on top dead center. So I put it in gear and I open up this little hole on the side, and then we're gonna rock it. Until we see a mark. Okay, so I found this hole, which I'm assuming is the mark. I pulled off the side plate just to make sure, and this paint mark looks like it lines up. There's no other marks on it. That to me looks like it's lined up. I got the cap off, and here's the valve adjustment right here. All right, yeah, so valve clearance is 0.08, so this feeler gauge is basically 0.08. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this one-handed, but with the feeler gauge in, there's still a smidge of play. So I'm gonna loosen that nut, adjust that flathead set screw down, and then carefully tighten that lock nut back, and then feel for any play with the feeler gauge in. So the choke for this carburetor was completely frozen. The cable was snapped, and the actual plug was stuck down in the barrel. So I spun it free by putting a flathead down in the hole and spinning it loose, and with a pick tool pulled it up out of there. Now I'm going to take this rod, grind it down to fit in the slot, run it through these tubes, and make a manual choke. Now we're going to go ahead and replace the carburetor and then the airbox. Let's go ahead and try it out for the first time.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! Oh, in the name of God! Now I know what it feels like to be God!
Well, that worked pretty decently. So let's get a new chain on this thing and some fairings in a seat and really rip on it. And let's just go ahead and sew this together. Yeah, I can sew, but not very good, as you can see. But hey, that doesn't look half bad, right? Run her through her paces a little bit before we really give it a go. All right, it's time.
Are you silly?
Ah!
Fire! Of course I'm gonna send it. All right, guys, well, we actually did it. We built a four-wheeler for about 200 bucks. I know you might not be able to do this everywhere, and it took a little bit more than $200, minus the chain and the other four-wheeler, that fairings I had to pull off. It is possible to get a cheap four-wheeler. And obviously the reliability was increased by the fact that I went through it and fixed the oil leaks and did the timing, the timing chain adjustment, rebuilt the carb. But with those simple steps, you can turn something that other people would kind of throw away as junk, or at least cheap, and turn it into a decent machine. So if you guys liked watching this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already. Check out some of my other cool four-wheeler power sports projects down below. I'll catch you guys next time.